Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me for another live stream. Today, I wanted to share with you some information that I've recently stumbled upon with my husband. A few interesting things I think that we wanted to bring to public attention. Things that have been hidden in plain sight that people are not aware of. So I have taken quite a few notes today, and in the spirit of keeping this live stream short, I'm going to be referring to these notes. Now, I don't research a lot of stuff that I talk about in my live streams, but I have a little bit of what I'm presenting today just because of the nature of what I am presenting. So my husband and I have decided to bring to public attention our interpretation of the Book of Revelations and current celestial events, and our translations and our understanding of these translations, just because of what we've come across. And we don't know anyone who's put together the same things that we have. Nobody else in our circles or any other circles that I've seen in any chat rooms or anything else on the internet is actually talking about this. So here we go. Hold on to the seat of your pants, because this is going to be probably the most informative and fast baptism of fire, so to speak, that you're ever going to have when it comes to religion and things hidden in plain sight. So here we go. So let's talk about the Book of Revelations and things that are hidden in plain sight. So I'm not a biblical scholar, okay? I don't have a degree. I don't have years of training or study to back this up. I'm just somebody who's guided. I follow this, and I marry this and this together, and it takes me where I need to go. That's how I get by. So, but listen to what I've got to say. So, my husband and my interpretation of the Book of Revelation is a little bit different to everyone else's, and it was pointed out the other day that Edgar Casey had a similar a take on the Book of Revelations to my husband and I, except my husband's version of the Book of Revelations kind of expands a little bit further on Edgar Casey's view. So let's jump into it head over heels. So the Book of Revelations, they talk a lot about the seven churches. So I believe, my husband strongly believes, and our understanding of it is, the seven churches relate to the seven chakras. Plausible? I think it is. So when you've done any study into any other religious teachings other than just the standard Roman Catholic or anything else, when you look into Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoist practices, it's all points to your chakras. So, and my husband and I, if you had to put us in a box, you would call us Buddhist. So, not surprising. So, the Book of Revelations refers a lot to these seven churches. So I wanted to go through a little bit about what we believe the Book of Revelations is talking about when it refers to these seven churches. So we believe it's full of metaphors. Everything that is in the Book of Revelations is hidden in plain sight. It's there for the awakened person to find. And if you look deeper or harder at the meanings, you'll put two and two together. And my husband and I, with a little bit of looking a little bit harder at things, coincidentally, with a little bit of backup knowledge, have realised that there's a little bit more going on here than meets the eye. So let's have a look at things. So the biblical Adam, in our view of things, doesn't refer to a singular. It doesn't refer to a person. It refers, we believe, to a group of people. So it represents a soul group, and that soul group has been referred to in the book of Job as the morning stars. Now, I'm going to come back to that, so don't forget that, the morning stars, because that's important, and it's going to tie together what I'm going to go through today. So the morning stars were created in the Creator's likeness. So now, if you had to put me in a book, you wouldn't call me Catholic. Yes, on paper I'm Catholic, but I'm not. I appear to conform, let's face it. So we're all the same. However, teachings over the time throughout history have changed. They've been changed so the masses don't figure out stuff. You have to be initiated to figure this stuff out. So let's have a look at things just so I can demonstrate to you what I mean by things have been changed. So when I say symbols and things have been changed so the masses don't figure out exactly what they mean, let's look at something as simple as the swastika. So when people look at the swastika, they automatically think that it's evil, that it's associated with Nazis, that it's to do with mass killing, and it is just plain outright evil. But Buddha would disagree with you. The swastika has been around for thousands and thousands of years, and it's a symbol of Buddhism. I have swastikas tattooed behind my ears, and they're in reverse. When you reverse the symbol, it's a symbol of Buddhism. So, everyone who looks at a swastika now should be looking at the direction that those little arms on the swastika point, and you can identify whether it is a positive or a negative. Yeah? Don't take everything on face value and tar everything with the same brush. So that's a good example. Now the morning star, we're going to come back to that. But that's very, 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 very important in the scheme of things. So the Buddhism symbol of peace and oneness, would you associate a swastika with peace and oneness? Mine are tattooed where they are for a reason. Okay, it's an energy center. So the morning star is a code name for Lucifer. Now everyone automatically goes, oh, Lucifer. It's not like that. Lucifer translates to light bearer. So, but Lucifer, yet again, has been railroaded. The term Lucifer, the name Lucifer, yet again, like the swastika, has been applied to something that it shouldn't have been, hidden in plain sight, railroaded, used for negative purposes, not positive. And with it loosely translating to light bearer, anyone who tars everything with the same brush and refers to Luciferian behaviour as being evil is tarring everything with the same brush. You're not looking at it from a objective point of view. You're only looking at it from one side of things. So Luciferian, Lucifer, light bearer. Let's look at this a little bit more closely. We will in a minute. I'm just going to flick over to some more notes that I've taken. So those who seek shall find. Those who don't care are the lost sheep. There's a reason why they're the lost sheep, because they're blindly accepting. That's all they do. They go to church, they pray. Whatever they do, they just blindly accept. Now, I believe the book of Revelations, like many other books that are out there, whether it be the Quran, which is a really, really good read if you read it in conjunction with another book, like many other books, the Law of One, for example. Now, the two of those books together, if you read them in conjunction, talk about this solar flash that is coming. I believe combine those three books, the book of Revelation, when you look at it from our perspective, and you join all the other ancient religious teachings or ancient spiritual practices together, you're getting the same picture over and over and over again, just explained in a different way of light. So where are we? if things are appearing over and over and over again, it's not coincidence anymore. It can't be coincidence, right? Ask yourself deep down, are your actions biased towards something or not? Are you looking at it objectively or not? Yeah? Okay, so let's have a look at these chakras, these churches that they refer to in the book of Revelations, okay? So the first church that they refer to. Okay, so I'm going to link these with the endocrinal systems in the body because I believe they're connected, okay? The first church, let me just have a look at my notes so I can tell you what it connects to. Okay, obviously, being the root chakra, it's obviously connected to the gonads. Right, obviously. So it does have a lot to do with hormone production. It does have a lot to do with drive. It does have its flaws. I mean, a lot of people are sexually driven. But there's a lot of motivation with people with that. Now, like everything, bodies can be out of balance, chakras can be out of balance, right? So anyway, so the first chakra color is obviously red. So let's go and have a look at church number 2. Okay, church number 2 that we have, where am I? Look at my notes. I've obviously skipped way too far. Okay, so church number 1, sorry, we've got the gonads, which I believe is the Ephesians or the Ephesus center. Church number 2, the Shimona. So Shimona is in the lower abdomen area, around the navel area. Obviously, that color is orange. So directly affects the endocrinal systems, hormone production, yet again referred to as the seat of the soul. Now, this one cops a lot of flack, especially with women. It works hand in hand with the 6th chakra, but we'll get to that one in a minute. It can be starved with people who aren't awake, people who aren't on a spiritual path, but it's one of those ones that once you start activating your chakras, it's picked up in the process anyway. So what goes around comes around with the 2nd chakra. The third one is the Church of Pergamos. Double-edged sword. It's the place of anger, the solar plexus. So it's associated with the adrenal gland. So its weakness is comfort eating. Now, yeah, okay, let's admit it, I've got that one. I've got that bit of a weakness. I do comfort eat. It's prone to anger when you're angry. When you are angry and you are drawing energy, where are you drawing it from? Yeah. It can be drawn, that anger, that evil, that gut, that anger, that hate can be drawn from your solar plexus. So the 4th church, the Theatara, or the heart chakra, it's associated with the thymus gland. Now, the thymus gland, people that don't know what that is, it's almost like a glove that surrounds the heart, the back of the heart. So that thymus gland plays a big part in the energy and the nerve signal transfer from your brain to your heart. So when you're asking for spiritual guidance, I find when I'm doing that, I put my hand on my heart so I can feel my hand there, because I know that if I think with my heart and I put my hand there and I can feel my hand there, I'm thinking with my heart because I can feel my hand there. It's just one of those ways to link it. I found that really works. So thymus gland works well. So that's the vision of the spirit: charity, faith, patience, compassion. Its weakness is it's difficult to describe in a non-religious way. And I'm not condoning random acts of fornication here. If you're not hurting anyone, is there anything wrong with it. Now, as I was saying, it's difficult to describe acting with the heart, and it gets confused. Now, as I said, there's positive and negatives to all chakras, to all centers. That's one of them. I'm not going to go any further into that. So the fifth center is the Church of Sagas. So all the thyroid, throat chakra, obviously blue. So the throat chakra, so speaking your truth. So it's positive if it's directed in the right way. So it can be used for good if it's not used for self-gain. So is what you're doing good? You've got to ask yourself, is what you're doing for the greater good? Are you holding yourself accountable? Because at the end of the day, the only person you're accountable to is the person looking at yourself in the mirror. So Church 6 is the Church of Philadelphia, and that's the pineal gland. So it's the holy center that they refer to it as in the book of Revelations, the Church of Philadelphia. It holds the key, they say, the key of David. Now, I take this many ways. I've been having a lot of pineal gland expansion lately, and I've been having a hell of a lot of throbbing, like on an awakening level. My pineal gland has been strobing. It's the only way I can put it. I don't know if anyone else has been having that, but it's been quite intense lately. When it opens, no one can shut it. And when it's shut, nobody can open it. You've got to do the legwork to open it. You can't take shortcuts with the pineal gland. You have to do the legwork. You must adhere to spiritual practice to awaken it. There is no shortcuts. So the seventh chakra, or the seventh church they refer to in the book of Revelations is the crown chakra. So in the body, it's the brow, and it's associated with the pituitary gland. So now I have had a little bit of a look at Edgar Casey's work, and I have had a little bit of a look at a few other things, and I've put a few things together, and this is where things, in my mind, if you've got too many coincidences, it's no longer a coincidence. So let's have a look at a few things that the book of Revelation say, and let's have a look at what's going on here. She shall ride on the back of the beast, crowned by 12 stars. Okay, so DNA, 24 chromosomes, 12 pairs, right? You get your 12 stars on completion. Now, there is 12 paired cranial nerves in the brain. Do you think that's a coincidence? I don't think it is. So the 7 seals they refer to in the book of Revelations, do you think that's your 7 centers, your seven chakras that you need to open? Once you've opened them, you get your crown, you get your crowned with 12 stars. Do you think? Another thing I wanted to bring up is she shall ride on the back of the beast. Who's the beast? Let's have a look at this, shall we? What's the composition of the human body? What are we primarily made out of? Carbon? Do you think? Maybe? Anyone pay attention in chemistry when they were in school? So carbon, 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, 666, mark of the beast. We are the beast. You understand that? It's not some fancy made up whore of Babylon. You know, they might refer to that being, I've heard it referred to as it being the USA, being the Vatican. 666, 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. Humans are made from carbon. We have carbon. We're carbon based. You are the beast. Control your beast. So you will ride on the back of the beast. Control your beast. You get your crown. Activate your centers. You get your 12 stars. You open your crown chakra. All your nerve centers are activated. Your cranial nerves are activated. You get your 12 stars, and you are riding your beast. You are no longer in beast mode. You're in control of your beast. So, coincidence? Maybe not. So, getting back to the morning star, let's have a look at this. The morning star, bringer of light, the light bearer. Let's have a look at what's going on currently here today. And as I said, coincidences. Too many coincidences? Is it a coincidence or not? So let's have a look at incoming asteroids or incoming, what do we put it? Comets. The comet atlas that's coming in at the moment. Now, I have been talking to my husband about this, and I've been having a bit of a chuckle doing a little bit of research, but I'm going to drop it and let's let everyone do their own research, and please, by all means, share the video if you're of the same thought process, and let me know what you think. Okay, so this morning star, or should I say this atlas, when you look at atlas, what it translates into is the backbone, or the most upper backbone, or the most upper vertebrae in the back. Now, this atlas is at the moment passing through the constellation Capella. Capella, when you look at it in the dictionary, translates to the skull, the morning star, or a star of first magnitude. It also, when you look at it in etymology terms, and you have a look at what it translates into, it also translates into a female goat / male goat. Now, anyone who has a look at ancient history and has a look at what the symbols were for ancient kingship lines, and when you take a look at what Tubal-Cain's symbol was the goat head, right? The male goat head was the inverted pentagram. So if you can imagine an inverted pentagram with the 2 points at the top, that was the male sign. The female sign was the upright pentagram. When you put the two of them together, they interlock. Now, Tubal-Cain's symbol always had like a gem that was in the forehead position. When you put the two of them together, overlocked, that gem was over the womb center of over the female womb. So, coincidental? Not? Maybe not. It's up to you. Look into it and tell me what you think. So, this Capella, this constellation that this atlas is traveling through, which is the first vertebrae of the neck, right? And it's traveling towards the skull, and it's also translate loosely into the bringer of light. Let's have a look at what another translation for Capella is. It's the Uruga, I think it is, Uruga. Latin, literally translate into the chariot. So hang on a minute. The bringer of light, Lucifer, the bringer of light is traveling. It is now transversing through the upper vertebrae into the skull. The bringer of light on a chariot. Hello, is anybody else picking this up? Has anybody else put this together? Is it just me? Capella, star of the first magnitude. See, Uruga or Uruga. Latin literally translates into charioteer. Now let's look at that. Constellation between Perseus and Gemini. That's where it's heading. Let's look at that. There's more to this than meets the eye. Nobody has put this together. Why is nobody else talking about this? Or does nobody else, has nobody else looked at this? Has nobody else looked at what the etymology of some of these translations are? You know, that's huge. Let's have a look at this, shall we? I mean, Atlas was a Titan for whom the Titans, he revolted. It was forced by Zeus to support the heavens on his shoulders. Coincidence? Look at the translation, people. One who bears a heavy burden, the bringer of light, a star of the first magnitude. Now, Atlas, this comet that's coming in, is visible in the sky for 6 days and 6 nights. Back to biblical reference. Now, I'm no biblical scholar, but didn't the Magi in biblical times, didn't the Magi, didn't they follow a morning star, the morning star, for 6 days and 6 nights? And that was the announcement, or that was how they knew that the return of the king, or the king was born. Didn't they know that that was the sign that he was coming? 6 days and 6 nights, the star in the sky, the comet, Atlas, the chariot. Coincidence? I don't think it is. So people, I'd be looking up a little bit more. It's coincidental that we're all locked down at the moment. Stay inside, don't do anything. Coincidence? Yet again, another one? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. What do you think? You're sitting home doing nothing, you're in lockdown? Have a bit of a play, have a bit of a research, see what it says. Okay, so in the spirit of keeping it short, I'm going to end my little bit of a live stream here. I did see there for a second, I did lose connection, so I hope I haven't lost too much data. But we'll see what happens. We'll see how it turned out. So by all means, look into it. If you think there's something to it, share it. Okay. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.